G'day folks, and welcome to the opening moves for this scenario 2. An egg is laid, simply from the 106th from Wacht Rhein, part of the GOSS series. Setup is all done. Since I uploaded the sort of introduction to this, I've made a couple of little adjustments. I've rotated all the allied units 90 degrees to show that they are inactive. I was double reading through the rules again and reminded myself that this bridge here is blown, but it shouldn't matter much because these are foot leg units, infantry, they can cross that. I need to be mindful that this is constricted terrain, so there are limitations here. So I think only one of these formations can move up into here. What else? And I think that was it. Yeah, so I've rotated all the Americans. They're all inactive, and I will need to remember that. Okay, so let's jump in to the turn, the scenario. And we kick things off with the pre-dawn surprise turn. I'm just going to see, is there a sequence of play? There is no sequence of play, so I will need to bring that up as a separate PDF. Logistics, we've got the player aid card. Could get some markers for that, which would help. We have here order of battle. Wow, that's huge. I'd already placed units, broken down units. I didn't show this in the introduction, but here's some broken down units. And the Germans have one over there as well. This is their administrative track as well, where they will eventually track everything. No artillery holding boxes, turn track, order of battle, things like that. Okay, so for this 16th of December AM turn, we have the pre-dawn surprise turn. All units are in general supply and are in command. We have a limited sequence of play. I'm just going to paste this so you can kind of see what's going on. All right. So we have a German mode determination, German movement, and German combat phase. Okay, so in the mode determination phase, German mech units that are within 2 hexes and German leg units that are within 1 hex of an enemy unit may be placed in PA mode. So let's start down the bottom here. All right, so I can put this stack. I've got to find my PA markers. So they'd be under here somewhere. They'd be under German information markers, prepared assault, like so. We can, so this is constricted terrain. You can see those little lines there, which for the purposes of this movement will limit, so let me just find out, stacking constricted terrain, a maximum of 2 battalions, may stack, okay, maximum of 1 battalion and 1 company. Okay, so only one of these. The Fusiliers are slightly stronger, so we'll move them under prepared assault marker. We can move this formation in its entirety directly north. We can place them under a prepared assault marker. We can place them under a prepared assault marker. We can be mindful that these guys will be able to move 2 hexes if they want. We can place them under a prepared assault marker, and again they can move 2 hexes if they want. We can actually put these guys under a prepared assault marker, and they will be able to move 2 hexes. Let me just check the move. It's been so long, I'm a bit rusty. Do they need to stop? Prepared assault mode. Movement, they cannot enter or cross prohibited terrain, must halt as soon as it moves adjacent to an enemy unit. Mech class movement may move 2 hexes if it is only 1 hex if any type of mud. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so they can move 2 through that forest, I believe. Yep, that should be fine. These guys are too far back, so we can move up to the 62nd and we'll move with them. Now I am mindful that if an American unit is attacked by a ground assault, they become active. And in thinking about this, I've been looking at this formation here. This is a couple of little companies, anti-tank, engineers, and a reconnaissance unit. They're currently inactive, occupying a pretty important secondary road leading through Ardwulf towards Schomberg. And I mentioned in the introduction I did want to secure Schomberg. But looking at this, I'm kind of thinking, instead of driving towards that with not much, what if I just try and bypass it and come around this secondary road here? So what I'm going to try and do is clear out this hex, try and cross this little stream here, and effectively bypass all of the 106th in this area. Come up this back road towards Schomberg here, and just isolate this formation, not engage them, keep them trapped in this big pocket that I'm trying to create. So we'll still kind of prepare to salt, not going to do anything here. These guys are in improved positions. You'll note these are all IPs below these markers. Okay. Now we can move up to the northern end of the Schnee Eiffel, and I don't want to attack this northern sector. I want to be able to just shift around here. Now I want to point out for context, and I will bring up the link so that you can check it out, and I'll share the video. Oops, not save it, share it. This is the link. You'll have to type that in, that's a pain. Maybe search LBW Strategy Gaming. This is Steve's channel, and he has done a really good video on playing against Claystone, on this, actually it's a larger scenario, but he does cover this area of the assault, and it was really good to watch through and see what Day did. I'm not copying what Clay did, but I have learnt a couple of little things from his movement. I don't actually know what he did with the 18th Division, but my decision is not to attack, preserve the force, and try and drive around to the north. Way up here in the north, I have no idea what to do with the 3rd Fallschirmjäger. This is one of the ones where I was unsure because it's outside the scenario. They can't attack anyway. They're outside PA range. Okay, so that is German mode determination phase complete, and it is all down in the south here. Let's move this up. Yep, there we go. We're looking at all our PR markers from the northernmost to the southernmost here. Okay, we then get to the German movement phase, and basically we're just moving these guys up in PA mode. One hex up, one hex up, one hex up, one hex up. We can move them potentially 2 hexes, but they must stop when they move adjacent. These guys can also move 2, so they'll go 1, 2 and slot into there. This is a slightly stronger formation. I do have, so they'll move 1 hex. What have I got here? These are flag units, so they'll move. Now here's the question, what I'm going to do is concentrate efforts on the south here, ignore this center hex, and then concentrate efforts on the north here. And I don't want to place this unit adjacent to these guys, because I think the rule is, if oh, here we go, it's right here in front of me. Inactive units can't do this. They are activated if they're the target or if they're adjacent to a German unit that conducts an offensive. So I don't want this stack of units to be adjacent to the Germans. They'll also, if I place them here instead, they will gain the benefit, I think, of being adjacent, which will give them a modifier. I'm a bit rusty on that, but it's best not to be adjacent, basically, to other defenders. So That is, there's nothing up north, just double checking, nothing happening up north, so we are all down in the south here. That is a German movement phase done. We now move to the German combat phase. Okay, German combat phase. So the sequence of segments is slightly altered. And again, I'm going to paste this, just so you can kind of follow along and know why it's a little bit different to the norm. There we go. So we have a fire support segment, which consists of a German offensive support, then Allied defensive support. We skip the attacker adjustment segment. Units in PA mode adjacent must conduct a ground assault, and then we conduct the ground assault segment. Okay, a reminder. So basically German offensive fire, and this is where we draw on German artillery, and this is where, look at that, Vassal makes it so much easier to find these hidden little pieces of artillery tucked away. A reminder that German fire support missions have a -4, so I'll post this, -4 or modifier. US have a -1 modifier. Maximum of 3 German artillery units can participate in the same fire support. Ammo depletion checks are not made. Likewise, the Americans have a maximum of 2 if the observing unit is in a field work. Otherwise, it's 1 if they're not in a field work. And again, ammo depletion checks are not made. So, what do we want to try to soften up? Where do we want our focus to be? I'm going to start up here in the north because I think I'd really like this to be a priority. These 2 areas here, in fact. One in particular. Because if I can push through there, that gives me the path to Schomberg quite quickly. So this is going to be, I'm going to try and put as much as possible into this area. And I'm going to draw on any and all available artillery. In hindsight, I kind of wish I would have put the Nebelwerfers down to the south instead of way up here in the north. But, yeah, sure, because now I don't have much. So I'm going to add 3. Targeting this hex here. So prepared assault, we have observers. I've got 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have got 6. Gee, I really don't have a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They can reach. So I've got these guys down here. 3 plus 2 plus 2. They've got long range as well, so we'll add them. Plus 2. All right, so we've used, and what I'm going to do is move this artillery to show the fired, just like that, put a little move marker. It'd be really great if Vassal had like a fired marker that you could. So I've got 3 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2. And I'll bring 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I can bring in some other 2. This is going to be not as well supported. That's okay, because we'll have much stronger infantry coming into this attack. Yeah, so I'm bringing in 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 barrage factors. Okay, so let's get to the artillery segment. So it's going to be 9. It's going to be 1 volley. I'm going to ignore the extra 1 basically because it won't do anything. So I'm going to have 8 minus 4. And let's think about the other factors. Let me just bring up the artillery section of the rulebook. I mean, PDF rulebooks, they kind of make it easy to search for things, but it's quicker to flick through a physical copy. Okay, so here we go. Fire support missions. Okay, so spotting unit. Let's declare the mission. Spotting unit. This is pretty straightforward. Um, they're observed because the attackers are under a prepared assault marker. Okay, mission limits. Oh, I've got limits to the artillery. I can't bring 4 in, I can bring 3, so it's actually only strength of 7. I just spoke about that rule and immediately forgot about it. Okay, so these guys, let's clear the move markers, and let's say 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 minus 4. I've forgotten the mission limit rules, but where is it? Light capacity. The spotter is a battalion. Okay, so you must do light if the spotter is a company, or a core asset unit, or a battalion-sized unit that is subject to overrun. You can do a medium capacity if the spotter is battalion-sized unit, which we do have here, and that can consist of only 2 artillery units. Can it be heavy? The target unit must be in observation. Okay, it is in observation because I do have that prepared assault. So there's going to be a heavy capacity with up to 8 artillery units. Yeah, a bit rusty on this kind of area. So we've covered range, okay. We have mission points, 1 volley, strength of 7, fire support, die roll modifiers. So where's that's logistics. Ground assault is here. Here we have the barrage table. And I'm going to try and magnify this a bit. So, let's look first at density. They have 3 steps, so there is no modifier. They're in between the -1 and the +1. They are in an ET2, which is another -4 die roll modifier. No, sorry, this is an entrenchment. Okay, this is an entrenchment 1. We have improved positions, -3. You go improved position 1, entrenchment, which is actually has a 2 on it, which is what we have here, which is an entrenchment, and then entrenchment 2 is effectively has a 3 on it, which is a little bit confusing, but yes, that's what it is. Now, from memory, you use either the entrenchment or the terrain. They are in the clear, so they'll use that entrenchment. So there's no AFEs there. Let's just double check the terrain in the area. Oh, we'll look up here. Sorry, this is where we are. Yeah, so they're in ET2. They use mix. Oh no, wait, recons don't count as AFVs for the purpose of mixed, I'm pretty sure. Let's get the rules up again. Let's look for mixed, oops, don't want that. We want to search mixed AFV. Units or sort of an armoured car are vehicle type units and qualify for the mixed AFVs. Units with other type symbols such as recon are personnel type units. They do not qualify for the mixed armour dice roll modifier. Right, so because we've got recon here, they don't qualify. Right, we've got a recon unit and an infantry company. In fact, that's only 2 steps or less. So that's another -1 dice roll modifier. I am very rusty here. This is not going to be a very successful assault. No vantage points. So let's just roll. We're now looking at what, 7 minus 1. So looking at -1 and a roll of 2, which is going to have absolutely no effect whatsoever. Okay. As expected, pretty much. Oops. I'll shut that down. let's see what else we can do. Yes, it'd be nice to bring some artillery here. So let's try 3, 6. Stop it. 3, 6. 3, 6. Do I bring the Nebelwerfers into this combat? Yeah, I think I do. 3, 6. We'll do 2 volleys. We might do a 7 and a 7. All right, so both of these Nebelwerfers. Oh, they're out of range. Damn. I can't unmark them moved. Can I reset them? Oops. Nope. Okay, we'll just do a 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, plus a 2. There we go. We've got a volley of 8. Very similar modifiers. I think we've got the -4, they're in an ET, -3, but they are 3 steps. So it's going to be a 1 plus a dice roll, which is going to be a 5, which is 6, which is confusing me. Barrage result, I'm not, this is different to, stop it, the barrage table that I'm accustomed to looking at. It's 6, which I think is less than 7, which is no result. I don't know why it appears in this way. 1, 5 is no result. Normally you think you'd, yeah, anyway. We're done there. All right, next combat. And this is where we can bring the Nebelwerfers into this combat here. We can say a volley of 8. Let's just do that. 8 -4 -3 is 1 plus a die roll of 4 is a 5, which is no effect either. So the Nebelwerfer is fired. Now let's try and bring in, we've got 7 down here. 7, 8, 9. And we'll do that. A volley of 8. Again, -4 -3 is going to be 1. Plus 5 is 6. Still not good enough. Again, I think we need a 7 or more to 8 or more to score a hit of some sort. Final volley will fire over here. Spotter, we've got 3, 4, 5, and our self-propelled 7, 5, 8. We can bring them in as well. I think that's all the artillery. So we've got 8 -7 and a die roll. Hey, that'll do something. So final strength is 1 with a die roll of 9. So 1, 9 is going to be 1 hit. Okay. Whew. We actually got something done. So let's go back to the artillery section. And resolve numerical hits. So the player may choose to take the first numerical hit as a step loss. In this particular case, yeah, they're in entrenchments. Yeah, let's hold our ground. So we will try to take this numerical hit as a step loss. We follow the procedure, and I'll bring this up as well. So we're looking at this unit here. We are looking at 11.6.2a. First, apply 1 step loss. Done. Now we need to track this loss on the player A chart. We will need to find the US, okay, US loss marker. So allied markers, US First Army armor loss, infantry loss, 1 step loss. Just okay, that's one. And it's another thing I need to remember to do. So I take 1 step loss from unit of my choice, or if they're in an ET3, I can remove the ET2. If it targets a non-attack designated units in a fort, no. Then, if numerical hits remain, no, they don't remain. So we skip that step, and that's it. All right, that's the end of, just to scroll up, the German offensive support section. We now go to Allied defensive support. All right, so where do the Allies want to break up? They are mindful of this gap because they've been hearing me talk about it, and they want to try and break this up. So they're going to try and concentrate some of their fire in this vicinity here. Starting with this unit, they'll target this hex here, and they'll bring in whatever artillery they can bring. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6. They can only bring in a maximum of, what I say, 2. Under what circumstances? If the observing unit is in a fieldwork. All right, so they are in fieldworks, so they can bring in 2. So they'll bring in 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so I've got 6 minus 1 for the modifier. The Germans don't get any benefit of any terrain, so it's going to be 5 plus a die roll of 3, which is 8. So 5, here we go, 5, 3 is going to be an artillery shift marker. German markers, yeah, where are the artillery shift markers? Artillery shift, here we go. So they have an artillery shift. We'll now move to this hex here. Similar circumstances, we'll bring in, oh wait, just double check that they can reach 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yep. So they have 11 and 14. So strength of 5 minus 1 is 4, plus a die roll of 8. So 4, 8 is going to be 1 hit. And the Germans will take that as a numerical hit. And we will mark that when we can find the correct counter. Now, where were they? German markers, was it up here? German 5th Army infantry loss, 1 hit. Okay. That's 2. All right, let's shift down to here, to this hex here. I'll just double check that weren't 3. Oh, they are overstacked. So it should have been 5, 6, 7. It should have been, I think, an extra plus, a 7 or more, an extra plus 2. So that that 12, that 5, what have we got? 4, 8. Should have gone up to 10, which is an artillery shift and a casualty. So I'll just clone that, bring the artillery shift down as well. So they lost a hit and an artillery shift. So this is going to be a tough one. All right, do we have artillery available? These are all spent. We can come down to 2, oh, these guys up here, 8 and 5. I should have used those earlier. So that's my mistake for not looking at the range, because they could have fired here, which would have freed up the longer range artillery. Rookie error there. Not to worry. Let's try 4. So they'll fire and they'll fire. They've been marked as moved. 4 on this hex. So look at 4 minus 1 for the turn modifier. Plus 4 is 7. So 3 +4. 3 is a miss. Double check those numbers because it's very close. 4 artillery factors, -1 for the turn. No other they are, yep, no other modifiers. That's a miss. Targeting this hex now, we will bring in, let's try this 5 here. 5 -1 is 4. This is a very densely stacked hex. We've got 8 here, so that's +2. So looking at 5, -1 is 4, up to 6, plus a die roll of 6. 6 and 6 is going to be 1 hit. I'll take that on the infantry, and we will increase that by 1. Okay, we will also do one little volley down here. Oh no, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll make it here. That way we can bring in 3 plus 3 observed. They have got, it's not densely stacked, so we're looking at 6 -1 is 5 plus a die roll of 10. So 5, 10 is an AS1. So we'll take that. Oh wow. All right, we'll flip them. That really, really sucks because they're only a 2-step unit. So we'll flip them and mark another artillery shift. And that should be, that was a devastating. Again, the Americans have all the luck. Look at their die rolls. 10, 6, 4, 8 compared to the Germans. 5, 4, 5. Yep. Oh, great. Oh, and 9. I think they did get a 9 for that last one, right? Okay, so that was... that was... Oh, I didn't move these guys up. They wanted to move up here, right? Yep. I'm just trying to think, did I mark the casualty? I got 1, 2, just 2-step losses, right? But quite a few artillery shifts as well. All right, that then brings us to the ground assault segment. Okay, so we'll start up here. This could be rough. We've got some formations that have already taken a battering that have 2 artillery shifts. So let's think about how we get this done. All right, ground assault. We need to find, here we go, ground assault table. So we'll bring it up in just a moment. We've got a strength of 10, 21. So 21 against defensive strength of 4. So we're looking at 5 to 1. I do have an ET2, and they're in a, what is this, wooded or forest? Yeah, that's really clear, isn't it? Geez, I can't tell the difference. One of these is wooded, one of these is forest. This is the lighter one, so that's wooded. I think this is forest. Right? Woods, forest. So they're in the forest. In forest. So 5 to 1 in the forest. Forest is row 3, so we're looking at row K here. K. Just keep that in mind. This row here. Is there a marker I can use for this? Artillery shift K. Can I put a marker? Yeah, I can. 5 to 1 there. I can use this to go left and right. Okay. Just double checking there's no constricted terrain in this area. No, there's nothing here. That's all good. So we've got the line type, we've got the tacking units, we have got what else? Nothing to worry, no standoff to worry about, no bridges to worry about. We've determined the ground assault value. I don't think there's any attacker strength modifiers. They're not attacking across a river. Yeah, defender combat strength modifiers. It's not pure AFE, they're not out of supply, they're not fatigued, so that's all good as well. So 2 infantry, we do have a pure AFE unit. It provides, battalion-sized unit, provides combined arms. Okay, hybrid units are a combined arms unit. All right, column shifts, let's work that out. So, attacker column shifts. Units are in PA mode? Yes. Oh, wait, are there beneficial column shifts for this turn? Special rules. On this AM turn, let me just double check. Ground assault. All German units receive an automatic 1 column shift to the right. That's that shift as well. That's in addition to being in PA mode. Yep. Okay. So that's good. For each artillery shift marker on the defending stack, no, there are none. What else? Strap mode, no. Defending unit exploit mode, no. Engineers. So can we cancel the... We don't have any engineers with us. We didn't bring engineers. Great. So no modifiers for that. We now get to the column, defender column shifts. They are not in a vantage point. We do have 2 artillery shifts, so they go back 2 to the left. And then they get 1, 2 for those entrenchments. Now, this should all be summarized somewhere on this sheet. Where is it? Nope, it's not. No, it's all in the rulebook. What else? I think that's everything. Now, adjacent defenders, there are none, so that's good. There are no engineers, as I mentioned, to cancel out those attacks. So now we look at dice roll modifiers. And again, this is not summarized anywhere on this sheet, which is annoying. It is on my printout sheet that comes with the game. So we have to go through this one by one. So first of all, proficiency bonus. So let's have a look at these units. So we go to the defaults, which is... I'll need to search for it. I'm sure it was in the PR. Trying to find it in the rulebook. It doesn't like me. I'm sure the exclusive rules did have a section on what the defaults were. I have a feeling it might have been 6 for American companies. But then flicking through a 60-odd page rulebook to find it. Is not great. I've tried searching for proficiency, or maybe PR. Yeah, there's a lot of references to PR, so let's try that. Only 237. Oh wow, okay. All right, there are 8 references to PR. Sorry, this is taking a while. Okay, so the GOSS rules have, here we go, breakdown unit, company proficiency ratings. I'm going to use this. I think, I have a feeling there was something specific within the Wacht Rhein rules, but I can't find it. So, beginning this, allied leg companies are 6/6 and mech companies are 6/7. Next question, is a recon unit classed as a mech company? Yeah, I'm pretty sure for this purpose they are classed as a mech unit. So there'd be 7. Regimental integrity bonus of 7 for the recon. Against the best the Germans can do is a 6, so that is going to be -5 for the Americans for a regimental integrity bonus advantage. AT. Alright, so the Germans are bringing the Hitzers with a 2. Okay, and the Americans have got a 1 on their recon unit, so it's going to be a 1 modifier, which is, I think it's a +10 for armor. This is how Russ I am. I've forgotten the modifier for armor. Yeah, each armor bonus is worth 10. Yep. Okay, so that's armor. What else? There's proficiency rating. There's armor. Oh, regimental integrity. So this is where the Germans can really help. They've got 2 from the 183rd and 2 from the 293rd, which is going to be a plus, which is 4. They're worth 5 each. That's a +20. And there's no combat resolve. So we add those up and we get a net of +35 to the German roll. So that's where they really help, all their dice roll modifiers. So the Americans came out on top with column shifts, but the Germans get the benefits from dice roll modifiers. So look at this row with a +35 on the attacker, +35 on the defender. So here we go, let's roll and see how the attacker goes. 88 +35, that's a good roll. That's going to be maths. 113, which brings us to here, which is a 2-2 result. And I'll also do the attacker at the same time, the defender, before I forget. That's going to be 1-0 +35. Oh, they want to roll low, right? So 1-0 here, +35. It's going to be, that's, yeah, 10. +35 is 45. Going to bring us to here. It's *1. Defender, *1. Okay. Alright, so for the defender, 2 hits, which will kill off both of the, okay, mandatory hits, yeah, 2 mandatory hits, right? So I'm pretty sure they may reduce the number of mandatory hits by 1 if they're in an ET3. No, they can't do that. If all friendly units are recon or commando, no, they're not all recon or commando. So resolve mandatory hits. Okay, resolve mandatory hits are step losses. Max step losses apply 4.2.1. This is basically 4.2.1 step losses. Single unit can't suffer step losses until all effective units have suffered an equal number. Maximum step loss. Your unit may not suffer more than 1 step loss in a single ground assault mission unless max step losses don't apply. Look, they're only 1 step units, so that's, I think, a hit and a hit. Now, these are only companies, so the next tricky question is, how does this affect the replacements. Okay, so to work this out, there is a unit replacement chart, but I don't think it comes with the actual module. So it comes with the game. We just need to find companies. German replacements. I don't know where companies are on this chart. It says company size or larger. So the rulebook says, here we are, not isolated and is a company size unit or larger. Refer to the replacement chart to determine they're not on. Okay, so an infantry company is not on the may replace with one infantry. Maybe this is an infantry company. Okay, so I think that's one. Oh, look at Americans. Sorry, that's one for the infantry and the reconnaissance unit, which is the Greyhound, gets half an armor step. All right, so allied markers, armor loss, half point replacement. I think that's, would that go there kind of thing? Is that one and that's like a half? I don't know. I cannot exactly place that like half over, so unless I can flip it, maybe I'll rotate it to show a half. Yeah, that way I remember. All right, so these are both breakdown units, so they can be deleted pretty much. I don't need to go in any dead box or anything. That will be removed, so I'll delete that now. But we also have an asterisk and one mandatory. So let's reduce the 62nd by, what do we make it, the 18th? Let's reduce the 62nd by 1. We'll keep the 18th in good condition. No, it had to be, I used the 6 proficiency rating, so it has to be one of those guys. And we have an asterisk for the proficiency rating check. Now, when we do this, I think it's the lowest unit, which would be, on the attack, a 5. All right, so we need a 5 or less. We fail. So what happens if we fail the PRC check? I think that means we PRC. Let's check that out. Okay, roll a 10 if they've failed. Doesn't say what happens here. This is how rusty I am. What is it? Here we go. Mandatory PRC. Effective using the lead. Oh, sorry. It uses the lead unit. They failed anyway. Modify it if by the following they weren't defending. If the lead unit fails its PRC, add 1 discretionary hit to their ground assault total. So this is a discretionary hit now. I'm kind of tempted just to try to take that as a retreat, because I've already taken 2 hits among these formations. So yeah, and I'll be able to move up next turn. That 1 extra hex, is it really going to make that much of a difference? I've cleared out the defenders. I can move up anyway, so yeah, let's try and do that. So I'm going to conduct a full retreat. All units must retreat the maximum distance allowed. We can't move adjacent to defenders. We must follow road. There are no roads closer to allies, I guess, like that. Is that a good idea? Maybe we'll go south and then south. Yeah. And we can remove that and those prepared assault markers. Wow, that's taking a long time. That's just one ground assault. That's how rusty I am. Okay, let's move on to the second one. Whew. We have got 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 17, 27 on 6, which is 4 to 1. They are defending in the clear. Yeah, wow. They are defending in the clear, which 4 to 1 in the clear puts us on this column. Yep. We get 1 to the right for being in PA mode, 1 to the right for the game turn. What else? No artillery shifts in this area, which is good. No, oh, we do have, no, that's an adjacent attacker, not an adjacent defender, so no adjacent defenders. Engineers, we do have some engineers now. So we have engineers in 1 hex, which negates 1 step of that. And then we'll go 1 to the left for the remaining entrenchment point. What other shifts do the defenders get? Are they in a vantage point? No. This is what makes it so much easier. Click this button, you can see what's under the ground, under the counters. No artillery shifts. No other modifiers applying, which brings us to the dice roll modifier. So looking at this row, which is pretty good for the Germans. Dice roll modifiers. Okay. Proficiency rating. The Americans have a 6. The Germans can bring a 6. So it's tied for PR. PR, no bonuses. AT ratings. The Germans are not bringing any armor into this combat. So no armor ratings. Regimental integrity. Nothing for the defenders because they're kind of isolated. The Germans are bringing... There's 2 from the 164th. There's 2 from the 190th. And that's it. So that's plus 20. And no combat reserve. So we're looking at 6 to 1 column, column N, with a plus 20 dice roll modifier. We do the attacker roll. Oh, that's not good. That's a 0.5 plus 20. Oh, that could have been great. So that's now 25, which is here. A 1-1 result. 1-1. And the defenders roll 90 plus 20, which is 110, which is off the chart. So no effect. So we just have the 1 mandatory hit and 1 discretionary hit. And I think they'd like to try to hold their ground just to buy time. So they're going to try discretionary hit. They're going to attempt to hold their current position, 13.10.4. They must conduct a PRC, needing a 6 or less to succeed. They fail. Okay, so if they fail, if there's only one, so all friendly units participated must retreat. If there's only 1 hit to resolve, they can resolve that hit by withdrawing into a defensive work occupying their hex. Right, so here's what happened here. The PRC failed. All friendly units must retreat. If there's only 1 hit to resolve, which there is, attacking units may resolve that discretionary hit. No. Sorry, they're not attacking. The only player must retreat 1 hex. Okay, so they just retreat. And they will want to follow the road, not go adjacent to enemy units, so they'll follow this path along here. That will be deleted, and the Germans can advance. So, all participating attack designated units may advance if the hex is unoccupied. The path consists of all the hexes vacated or passed through. The first hex must be in the centre there. So We'll move these guys in and leave these guys out there on the flank. Okay, which brings us to the next combat, and they are now active. Yep. So, and a step loss. So, another infantry step loss. Next combat down here, we have bringing 15, 20, 32 to 8, which is just 4 to 1. Wow, I've got the balance right there. 4 to 1, and they are in that forest terrain. So 4 to 1 in forest is going to bring us to here. 1 to the right for the turn, 1 to the right for being in PA mode. They are in an ET2. Show me the engineers. There's 1 engineer there. That's all we've got. So they'll cancel out 1. 1 happens. So they remain in that column. No adjacent defenders, which is good. I don't think there are any other column shifts. Oh, wait, there is an artillery shift. So there should be 1 more shift in favour of the defenders. And I know that they have some AT in this hex as well. Okay, so for modifiers, we have got a PRC of 7 on these guys against a defense of 7. So no PRC modifiers. We have got AT of, the best we can bring is 6. Look at that. Let's zoom in a little so we can get a bit closer. We have a 6 here against their 3. So we have 3 times 10 equals 30. Oh wait, but it may be modified. So because of the terrain, so it's a forest. Where are the AT modifiers? Is it going to be here? No, it's going to be somewhere else. Let me just find. Okay, so I found it. It's a separate chart. Net modifiers to armor in a forest, modifier of -2 to a maximum of 1, which gives us a 1 modifier of 10 for armor. Now we look at regimental integrity. The Americans don't have anything. The Germans have got a lot from the 116th. That's 4, 5. That company won't count, right? So 5s are 25. I think that's a maximum of 5 for regimental integrity. Regimental integrity +5 maximum. Yep. Oh no, sorry, maximum of 6 on the attack, 3 on the defense. So we're looking at a net 35 modifier to the attacker. Okay. Let's roll and see how we go. Attackers roll. Where are we? Here we are. +35. 42 plus 35 is 77, which is going to bring us down to here, which is an asterisk 1, 1. And for the defender, 8 plus 35 is going to be 43, which is going to be an asterisk. All right. So they're the results. So we have 1 mandatory hit, which has to be on the lead unit. 1 discretionary hit. They will try to hold their ground. Okay, so they must conduct a PRC, which they pass, which means they lose this unit. Now an AT unit, I need to now consult the unit replacement chart. An allied AT company confers half a recycle step. So this is where I can say half an infantry step. All right. That's one mandatory. That's a one discretionary resolved. Now we have a PRC check, which passes. So they're fine. And they are now active. All right, now the Germans have to make a PRC check, which they fail. If they fail, it's a mandatory hit. Look, Germans are still blocking the road. The Americans are still blocking the road, so they'll just pull back, I think, 1 hex. Remove those PA markers. So we're doing some damage. I don't know if I tracked that American loss. I think I should have been an extra one. All right, 2 more combats to go up here. We have got 9, 10, 18 on 8, which is 2. This is not going to be a great one. 2 to 1. Ooh, 2 to 1 in the forest. It's all down here. So we go 1 to the right for the turn, 1 to the right for being in PA mode. We have some engineers, so we negate 1. We go 1 to the right, and then they go 1 to the left. So kind of, is that right? No, I did that wrong. It should be a net 1 to the left. I think I did that wrong last combat. No adjacent defenders. Let's look at modifiers. They are, I think I did regimental integrity bonus wrong. I was looking at the division rather than the actual Zand, and then we had, I think, Voight and Voight. Yeah, so we would have been fine. Same modifiers. So we've got 2 from the 11th, 30th, and that's it. So it's a +10 for regimental integrity. We have got, best we can bring is 6, so we've got -5 for the Americans. And then armor, we are bringing absolutely nothing, so no armor modifier. So it's a net +5 to this 2 to 1. Yeah, I think that's it. So let's see how we go. Attacker die roll is 27, which is going to be an asterisk result. Defender is going to be a 60, which is a 1 result. All right, so PRC using the lead unit, which is going to be this unit. Pass. No, sorry, that unit. That's attacker's result. The Germans have to suffer a hit on their lead unit, and that's all. And they hold their ground in a pretty uneventful combat. Last combat over here, we have got another fairly weak one. We've got 12 on 6, which is 2 to 1 in a forest. Oh, and in fact, I need to look at the terrain effects chart because they're attacking across a river now. Leg combat strength halved. So it's actually only 3 to 2. 9, they'll be halved attacking across that river. Alright, so 3 to 2 in a forest. It's not going to be good. We start all the way over here. 1 to the right, 1 to the right. They have got, we have got no engineers, so they go 2 to the left. There's no artillery shifts there, nothing, no other modifiers. We don't have any regimental integrity bonus, neither do the Americans. PRC, we've got 6 on 7, so it's a net -5 for the Americans. No armor. Oh, we do have engineers there, sorry, so we do cancel out 1 of those shifts. So but it's a net -5 to the roll. Attacker is 71, -5 is 66, which is a 1. That's not bad. And the defender rolls a 36, -5 is 31, which is a 1-1. 1-1. All right, so the Americans will suffer one discretionary hit. Now they're on the flank there, and I think it may be better if they try to hold their ground. So they're going to roll a PRC. They're going to pass. They are going to come down to their last step, just to desperately hold that ground. Okay, and the Germans will take a hit on their lead unit, and their discretionary hit will again be to retreat back across the river. Yeah, just trying to preserve some forces. All right, so look, mixed results. We're certainly inflicting some casualties on the Americans. So they lost 2 steps in that combat. So 1, 2. Oh, am I keeping track of the German losses? That was 1 there. I think I've been forgetting to track the German losses as well, because it looks like the Americans have been suffering a lot more casualties than the Germans have. But that brings us to... I'm terrible with tracking losses. I should do it on pencil and paper. But that brings us to the end of that pre-AM game turn. So we're about to shift to the 16th of December, but I'll continue that later on. So we can zoom in. Heavy American casualties down the bottom here. This is really kind of, I guess technically it's kind of opening up this left flank, this trail through here, but it's not great for armor. It's really just for infantry to move around the flank, to move up on the left side of the Ur River. Struggling in the center here. But, I mean, we've got this gap through here, and we should be able to move through here. So what's the 116th doing? They had to retreat. They're not doing well. Yeah, really wanted some better success out here. Suffered some losses on my kind of lead. Where are they? Yeah, here we go. That lead unit there, which is frustrating. Yeah. All right, folks, to be continued. Thanks all for watching, and take care.